Welcome everyone to this beautiful channel named Geeks for Geeks School, and I would like to welcome all the students also who have joined in this tutorial through my channel. So in this tutorial we are going to check out how can we develop a beautiful car racing game on this excellent platform named Scratch. So let's dive into the platform and see what are the different tricks and techniques we can use for developing a beautiful car racing game. So the first thing that we need for this game is the two sprites. One is the first sprite that we need is of a racing track, and the second sprite that we need is of a racing car. So let's come on this Google and see if we can get some good stuff over there. New tab on the browser, and here you can, in the URL part, write google.com. And remember one thing, whenever you are developing a game or whenever you are developing an app or something new, so make sure to visualize it first. Create pictures in your mind of whatever things you would like to you would like to have in your app or game, right? It will help you definitely in making a good plan, and once the plan is there you can definitely create a new thing with the help of that beautiful plan you're going to uh, create with the help of visualizing. So make sure that you have everything in the form of pictures in your mind before you start creating that thing. It is definitely going to help you a lot. It will improve your efficiency as well as it will improve your thinking skills, right? Okay, so let me access Google on this tab. Kindly bear with me, and thank you very much to everyone who joined this tutorial at this time. Thank you very much for supporting me. Let me just check the channel for checking out the names of all the new thing with the help of joined it in this tutorial at this time with me. Okay, Sarthak, hello dear. I hope you are doing fine. Thank you very much for joining me at this time. Ishan, hello dear. So we are searching for, we need a racing track first, right? So you can simply write racing track clip art over here in the search box, and after you'll hit the enter button, you will be redirected on a web page where you'll see couple of good results. Okay, let's now come on this Google Images and see if we can get something good over here. These are some results, these are some images you're going to come across. Okay, so I think we can make use of this image, right? What we can do, it has a transparent background, right? Okay, so let's click on this image to open it up on a bigger window, right? And from here we can right click on this image and copy this image, and after that we can bring it on this paint software just by pressing Ctrl and V together. It is going to take a bit of time, no problem. Abhishek Kataria, excellent here, thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. Okay, so we have this image on this paint software. So I am going to now select this entire image and let's enlarge the size of this image in such a way. Let's enlarge the size of this image. Okay, because I want this image to cover the entire playground of the Scratch environment. So that's the reason I have resized it and I've scaled it up. Now we can save this image with a unique name on the desktop. So I would like to tell you that I've already prepared this racing track before this lecture. So I will be using that, but I'm telling you the steps how can you create a customized image of your own. Right, once you're done with bringing the image on this paint software, you can save it with a unique name on the desktop, and we are able to see a background in the back of this image. So in order to eliminate that background, you can make use of that remove.bg site with which you can remove the background, right? So I'm saving it with this name back, BACK, and let's save it. Now if you want to remove the background and make it completely transparent, definitely you can make use of that remove.bg site. You just have to upload the image. I've showed you the whole process in many of my previous lectures. If you don't know about that, please do please do check out the previous lectures, right, in which I've showed you the use of that remove.bg site. What you have to do, you have to type remove.bg in the URL part. Automatically you will get redirected to one of the beautiful sites traveling on internet with which where you can upload the image, and on a single click you can remove the background of the image, right? So this is the URL of the site. You can visit it and just upload your image, whatever you have downloaded, and then you can in a single click remove the background. Once you're done with removing the background, come over here on this Scratch platform, and now you can import that transparent background image over here on the playground of this Scratch using this option which I am going to show you. Just give me a short moment. I need to check something over here. Okay, reloading this Scratch environment. Now the way I have showed you how you can prepare the racing track, in the same way you can type racing car in the search bar of Google, and when you will hit the enter button, automatically you are going to get some beautiful result. You can just copy that car and paste it in the paint software, and after that you can remove the background using the remove.bg site. Once you are done with making the background of the car's image transparent, you can then access it on this environment the way I am going to show you now. So in order to access the backdrop, see, the first thing you're going to come across is this is this image, right? When you'll open this Scratch for the first time, so what you can do to eliminate this image, you can just hit this bin option and the image will be removed. Right, now you can come over here on this backdrop option. Just give me a short moment. Amit, now I think everything is perfectly fine. I just checked the YouTube. I just checked it. No, it may be because I was accessing a different site. remove.bg. At that time screen got frozen, but now I think it is working perfectly fine. Okay, okay. Okay, so these are the backdrops you're going to come across. So, there are some backdrops which are by default available on this platform if you want to make use of any of them. So you can select those, so you can select the relevant backdrop. But if you want to import your own custom background, so what you can do, you can click on this choose a backdrop option, and right on the top you'll see in this menu this upload backdrop option getting reflected. So you can just click on this option and it will redirect you to one of the location present on your devices from where you can select the image you have prepared. So the image which I just downloaded, I saved it on the desktop. So let's see whether I will be able to see it on the desktop or not. So the first thing that I will be importing on this playground is the racing tracks image, right? And I am using this upload backdrop option. Remember this thing. Please don't use this second one which is present next to this upload backdrop. It is for uploading the sprite. It is not for uploading the background. If you want to upload the background, this is the option you have to use, right? So there is a difference between these two options, and while uploading the things you have to just keep this thing in mind. It will soon redirect me to one of the location present on my device. Okay, so it has redirected me to this desktop of my device. Let me import this one. So I have prepared this one, okay, for my game over here. Let's see what is the output we will get. Why it's taking so much of time? Playground. I want an image which can cover the entire playground. Let me see if I have something present on my desktop which I can make use of, and that can cover this entire background. So I'm looking for an image like that. If you want, you can customize this image also. What you have to do, you have to first open the paint software. You can import this image in the paint software and then you can enlarge the size of this image, right? Once you are done with that, you can import it in this scratch environment and you can bring it on the playground. That's how I have prepared, this image named track over here. So now you will see that this image will cover the entire playground area once it is there on the playground. See, so it is covering this entire playground area. Now let's come on this coding section, and before defining the code, we need to import the car sprite also on this Scratch platform. So if you want to import any sprite, what you can do, you can make use of this option, which is choose a sprite. Come up on the top, and here you'll see this option upload sprite. When you'll click on this, it will also redirect you to one of the location present on your device. So from here you can select the relevant image. This is the one which I have prepared for this game. So let me just open it on this beautiful environment here. But the size of this image is pretty big. If you want to reduce the size of this image, you can simply make use of this size option. Let me change it to 35. I think 35 will be more than enough. Yes. And now if you want to change the position of this sprite, you can drag it like this and drop it wherever you want to see it initially getting reflected before the game starts. So I would like to see it over here at this point. Now we can define the code with which we can control the movement of this car. So we can begin with using these codes which are there present in this menu over here in the right side. So the first thing, flag click. So you can just drag and drop this block over here in this coding environment. Now what we have to do, we have to put a forever loop, because I want that whatever code I will be defining inside it, I want it to repeat forever. I want to repeat it forever. So I am putting this forever loop over here. Now we can come on this control part, and from here we can drag and drop this if loop. So if the user will hit the upward direction key, then what should happen? That's what I have to define the code for now. So we can come down, and let me now search for, I think we will get the required block in this sensing part. So this is the one I was looking for, not this one, this is the one, yes. So we can drag it and drop it over here. Now what should happen if the user will hit the upward direction key? So we need to select first the up arrow option from this menu, and when the user will hit the upward direction key, I would like to see this car moving I want this car move ahead with 5 steps. I want the car to move ahead, to move 5 steps ahead. So that's how I think I can do it. I need to change this 10 to 5. Yep. Now we can simply press the enter button, and that's what the code we can define for making the car move 5 steps ahead. Now let's copy this if loop and create a duplicate of this code, and we can now put this second if loop below the first one. So if the user will press the downward direction key, what should happen? Let me change this 5 to -5, because I want the car to start moving back. Okay, so that's how we can do it. Now if the user will hit the right arrow key, then what should happen? So for defining the code for that, we need to select this right arrow first from this drop down, and after that instead of making use of this move, we can make use of this turn block. So I would like the car to turn by 5 degrees, right, and in the clockwise direction. Then we can again copy this if loop and put it over here. If the user will hit the left arrow key, then what should happen? I would like the car to turn in the left direction, or you can say turn clockwise, turn anti-clockwise by 5 degrees. Let me now check this code whether it is working fine or not. So we can simply click this flag, and let's now hit the upward direction key. So I'm able to see the car moving in the forward direction. If I'll press the downward direction key, I'm able to see it moving backwards. And now if I'll press the right direction key, so I'm able to see it moving anti-clockwise. And if I'm pressing the left direction key, I'm able to see it rotating anti-clockwise. Right, so I am getting the required output. I am getting the required output from here. Okay, let me just check if I have something to answer the comment box. Okay, now you'll be able to listen to me. I think I was on mute at that time when I was streaming 5 minutes back. Okay, so what I have done, let me explain you this whole code one more time. Actually, I was on mute at that time when I was explaining you this code. So I have placed a forever loop, and inside this there are 4 if loops which I have placed. Now inside this first one, I have defined the code with which the user can control this the movement of this car in the forward direction with the help of this up arrow. Then in the second if loop, I have defined the code with which the user can control the movement of this car in the back direction and with the help of this down arrow key. Then this loop is for making the car rotate clockwise by 5 degrees every time the user will hit the right arrow key. So the car will turn 5 degrees clockwise, and every time the user will turn just give me a short moment. I think we can define the user will hit the upward direction key. I would like to see this car moving I want this car to move with 5 steps. Okay, I think now it is perfectly fine. Right. Now let's define one more when flag is clicked block over here. Now when the flag will be clicked, I want to see this car at this position. If suppose the car is here at this position, so when the race will start, I want to see it back on this position. So how can I bring it back at this initial position where it was earlier? Let me show it to you. Okay, so right now the car is here, right? And now what we can do, we can come up over here in the motion section, and simply we have to drag and drop 2 blocks with the help of which we can reposition the car every time the game will start. So it will get repositioned automatically at this position every time the game will start, and I would like it to point towards this direction where it is pointing right now, in the direction in which it is pointing right now. So that's how we can do it. Automatically it will get rectified. Okay, so now let's define a variable with name velocity with which we can control the velocity of this car. So we can come down over here in this variable section, and let's click on this make a variable option, which will redirect you to this beautiful window. Let's define a variable with name velocity over here. Click OK, and the variable will get created. Right, once you're done with creating the variable, what you have to do, you have to first set I would like to first set the value of this variable to 0. So we can make use of this set variable option, and from here when you'll click this drop down, so you'll be able to see this velocity named variable getting reflected in the window. Now you can set it to 0 like this. Then you can come up in this control section and select this forever block. So just drag it and drop it over here. Now what you can do, we can make use of the if loop, and I would like to now code this game. I would like to define a code over here with which we can control the positioning of the with which we can control the value of this velocity named variable. If at any point of time the car goes out of this black track, so I would like the velocity of the car to automatically go down by 4 and it should become 1. And if it is running on this track, so the speed should be equal to 5. Now how can I define a code with the help of which I can achieve the output? So we can come down over here, and we can use this touching color block, and here we can define a condition. Select this color first. So if the car is there on this black track, so I would like the velocity to always be equal to 0. So just a second, I don't want this thing, I just want this set velocity block, and let's set the velocity equal to 5, sorry. And if the user leaves the track and comes on this white part, so the velocity should automatically go down by 4 and it should become equal to 1. So that's how we can do it, right? Now if you want the velocity of the car, if you want to make this velocity of the car dependent on this variable's velocity, simply you can drag this velocity component and put it inside this box over here, and the same thing you have to do with this block also, right? So we are done with defining the required code. Now let's see whether this code over here is going to give us the correct output or not. So if I'm running on this track, the velocity is 5. The moment it will come on this white part, why its velocity hasn't gone down to 1? Okay, just because I haven't replaced this with velocity. Now if you'll run this game, so you'll be able to get the required output. So as soon as the car will come on this white part, its velocity will go down by 4 and it will become equal to 1. So that's how you can achieve the required output. Now we are going to define the variables with which we can keep a check on the laps elapsed by the car. So what we can do, we can simply, first of all, I would like to stop the game and bring this car back on its initial position. Now we can define two different variables over here using this make a variable option. So the first variable I would like to define is for a check on the half laps part. And let's now customize the backdrop. So for that we can simply click on this track over here, and then you can come on this backdrops, and here you will see this racing track getting reflected. So this is the backdrop. I'm eliminating the second one because we are using this one right now. Now with the help of this line tool, let's draw two lines on this track. So I would like to draw the first one with red color. So we can select red color from